Yo, 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 what's up, dough chasers? How many of you know who this is? This is Barry Sanders, the greatest running back of all time. I actually had an opportunity to meet him uh, by accident. He boarded the same plane as me, and I noticed him, and I said, hey, what's up? Can I take a picture? And he allowed me to take a picture. So it's important that when you have an opportunity for you to attack it, okay? Anyway, today what I'm going to be talking about is how to stop debt collector phone calls and remove collections from your credit report, okay? This specific strategy we actually implement in our program, our credit repair program. And I decided, why not share it with you all, because it can be very helpful to a lot of you who are unable to afford a credit repair service, who are interested in doing, your self credit repair. And I just want to, provide some value with you all today that's going to help you put debt collectors in their place and also take control, okay? So the situation is ABC Collection Company is calling and they're harassing you. You're tired of the phone calls and you don't know what to do, right? And what you should do is, one, answer the phone call. Otherwise, if you don't answer the phone call, they're going to continue to call you, all right? Key alert. Answer the phone call. Hey, may I ask who I'm speaking to? Hey, this is ABC Collection Company calling on behalf of AT&T Corporation. Calling because your bill was never paid, and we were calling to, take care of that bill. How would you like to take care of that bill today? This is how you respond, okay? A lot of times, people will respond incorrectly. They will, admit to the debt and basically bind themselves in an agreement to make arrangements. But what you want to do is you want to take control. You want to put yourself in the driver's seat. And how you respond is, hey, ABC Collection Company, thank you for giving me a call. I was totally unaware of this debt, and I have no knowledge of this. And to be honest with you, I really don't appreciate the phone calls. If you can send me something in writing that provides verification or validation on this alleged debt, I would definitely appreciate it. Otherwise, please cease, collection calls. Take me off your calling list because I don't want to talk to you. And at the end of the day, it's your right to have that conversation and let them know that you do not want to talk on the phone. You would rather communicate in writing, okay? So you simply say, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate that. To be honest, I was totally unaware of this, and I don't have any information on this, and I don't feel comfortable talking about this over the phone. Would it be possible for your company to send me some information in writing? And by the way, please take me off your calling list. I don't want to accept any further calls, okay? So that's basically how you handle the phone call. You'll continue to repeat yourself because they're going to pivot. They're going to say, well, looking at this account, it seems that you didn't pay it in a good 6 months. We just want to rectify the situation today. They're going to basically try to put you in a corner, and you want to make sure that you do not allow them to put you in an emotional state so that you don't say anything that you don't want to say, okay? You want to take control, let them know that you had no knowledge of the debt, you don't feel comfortable talking about it over the phone, you would rather them send you something in writing that proves the validity of this debt and to cease all collection efforts over the phone. And if they do that for you, then there's another strategy that we can implement, but that's what you want to do to take control. And you also want to note that conversation. Just note it in your phone that they called and you told them to cease collection efforts. And based off of that phone call, what you can do is you can also collect their address and send them something called a cease and desist letter. This letter basically states that you don't want to accept phone calls regarding this debt and that you want to communicate in writing, okay? And as long as you give them that avenue of communication, you do not, set yourself up for the most negative thing, which is them trying to sue you, okay? I will handle all questions at the end. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll make sure I get to those at the end, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to handle that phone call by telling them not to call you and to cease all collection calls, okay? After you do that, if you have their address, if you don't have their address, you want to collect it during that phone call. But if you do have their address, you want to send them something called a cease and desist letter, all right? If you have any experience when it comes to dealing with debt collectors, a cease and desist letter is basically a letter stating your rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and letting them know that you do not feel comfortable talking on the phone and you'll rather communicate in writing. That will stop all collection calls moving forward, okay? The thing is, what a lot of people don't do is they don't do a good job of documenting their phone calls. And a lot of people, will ask me, Jason, working in your program, what's a great way for me to document this information without paying for expensive postage, right? And there's a way for you to buy online postage that comes with tracking. And if you purchase that and it comes with tracking, that tracking could be confirmation that they actually received the letter. And if they continue to call you, after you sent off that letter and after it was proven that they actually received it, you can actually sue them for $1,000. You will be awarded $1,000 if you have the proper documentation proving that you requested them to cease all collection efforts and you had that confirmation from your tracking that said that they received it, okay? So a lot of people, will tell you that, you got to send it a special way. But all you have to do is get a tracking on your postage, which I recommend that you buy postage online and it comes with tracking. And if you can prove the tracking of the letter and they continue to call you, seek a consumer lawyer and sue their asses, all right? So we talked about handling phone calls. We talked about stopping the phone calls through the cease and desist letter. But what happens when you receive a letter like this? This is a bill that I got from IC Systems September 17th, and it was regarding an old T-Mobile account that I had back in like 2009, right? So this is well past the statute of limitations for those of you who want to see that, okay? So this is well past the statute of limitations. However, they're trying to have me settle the account, right? And what happens to a lot of people is they will refuse to respond to these correspondence letters. And that's a big no-no because if you ignore the correspondence letter, one thing on the letter that it states is that you have 30 days to challenge this letter or 30 days to respond, right? And a lot of times people will ignore that, and by you ignoring that, what happens is you admit by silence, okay? So let me explain what this means, okay? Admission by silence means that the failure by a company in whose presence, hearing, or observation of an act or declaration is made to assert such act or declaration is untrue. So basically, you have something that has been forwarded to you to state something about yourself in regards to owed debt, and you receive that, but you refuse to, respond to it. And because the information has been forwarded to you and you ignored it, basically they're using a legal law that will basically allow you, allow them to win. Okay, let me restate this. This will allow them to obtain your debt legally and be able to pursue you for the debt, okay? Because of your silence, you're admitting to owing the debt, right? And a lot of people are setting themselves up for failure because they refuse to respond to these correspondence letters, okay? And the last thing that you want to do is admit by silence when all you have to do is respond, okay? And a lot of debt collectors will obtain debts from, creditors for pennies on the dollar. They'll send consumers like you and me a letter basically stating that, you owe a debt, you have 30 days to respond, or we will assume that this is correct, and then we will report it on your credit report. And by you ignoring that statement, you're admitting by silence that this is true and that they have the right to collect on this debt. And because so, they report it on your credit report, okay? And that's a big no-no, okay? So again, you want to respond, otherwise you are admitting by your silence, okay? So how do you respond to this letter? Basically, you want to respond. I have a special letter here, got from a lawyer, that basically states that, hey, I am in receipt of your letter, your alleged debt, and I don't agree with it, and I refuse to do business with you. and I, basically want you to cease all collection efforts. And if you have reported this on my credit report, I demand that you remove it immediately, okay? And this is basically a response because we're not ignoring it, we're responding to it. And this lets them know that we do not want to do business with them. If they do not have a contract between you, okay, between you and them, then they do not have the legal right to collect on the debt unless you admit or you set up some kind of arrangement and you accept the alleged debt, okay? A lot of people shoot themselves in the foot when they refuse to respond to these debt correspondence letters when they could easily respond, but you have to respond strategically, okay? So this letter, I'm actually, I bought it for, how much is this? I was going to say a few thousand, but I really think I got it for a couple $100. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that available to you all who are dealing with debt collectors and you're getting these correspondence letters in the mail and you don't know what to do with them. I'm going to make this letter available for you along with the cease and desist letter, and you can get both copies for just $10, okay? So if you are someone who is interested in getting that information so that you can set yourself up for success, comment me and I will send you a message on how you can obtain both of these letters for just $10, okay? So it's not going to be a huge purchase like the purchase that I made. However, I'm going to make it very affordable for you to obtain these letters. If you don't want to obtain these letters, you can obtain our credit repair service for $64.99 a month. That's up to you. I don't really care what you do. I just want to make sure that you have the information that you need to make a good decision, okay? So we talked about handling the phone calls. We talked about the cease and desist letter. We talked about what to do when you receive debt correspondence letters and, the special letter that you send to them. And the good thing about this letter is when you send it, you also send a copy to something called the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. This is a government entity here to protect your rights, okay? And what they do is, along with sending this letter to the debt collector, they will also do an internal investigation on your behalf. And, what you want to do is you send this letter to the debt collector and you also fax or upload it to their website, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau website. You upload it to their website and they'll do an internal investigation on your behalf. So you're basically hitting them twofold, okay? And a lot of people that work through our program get great results. And I'm actually going to send it for myself for this old bill that I got as well. So, hey. So we talked about the correspondence letters, the special letter, but I really want you to get an understanding that there are ways for you to protect yourself. One, never accept an alleged debt. Never make a payment arrangement on the debt unless the debt can be validated. Always, request that they send you information in writing validating the debt. If they can't prove it, they cannot collect on it, and they must remove it from your credit report. So that's, the first key. The second key is you want to send that cease and desist letter. And then if you do receive any correspondence from any company in regards to an alleged debt, I got this one from IC Systems. You want to respond and not ignore the correspondence letter, because a lot of people are allowing collections to be reported on their credit report because they are admitting by silence that they actually owe it to the debt collector. And you can protect yourself by responding strategically using the specific debt validation letter that I have that was handwritten by a attorney, okay? Never ignore that. Even if you don't have this letter, you still want to dispute the debt and make sure that they validate it regardless, okay? And if you can do that, you can, one, stop the collection calls, two, prevent collections from being added to your credit report, and three, you're now in the driver's seat. You have taken control, okay? So if you are someone who is interested in getting both of these letters, comment me, and I will forward that information to you by either sending you a message or commenting under your name with the actual link where you can purchase both of those documents for just $10, okay? So hopefully this information has been helpful. If you are appreciating it, please share this video on your news feed on your on your account, and so people that like and love can also get this information. Also, I would appreciate it if you like the video as well. Okay, but again, my name is Jason White. I don't even know if I introduced myself, but I apologize. My name is Jason White. I'm actually the CEO and founder of Witness Riches. We are a personal financial improvement company, and we assist people with improving their finances and boosting their credit scores. We got a lot of great things on the horizon. Make sure you follow me, you follow the page, you stay in contact, and if you are ever in need of our services, feel free to reach out to us. Our number is 419-824-0004, or you can learn more about our program by visiting our website, www.the700clubcreditrepair.com. And lastly, before I go, I am actually working on a financial academy called Transcend Financial Academy. That will be introduced coming very soon. So, keep an eye out for that. It's going to be very exciting information, and every course will be instructed by me personally. Okay. So thank you all for your time. Again, don't ignore those calls. Take control and put yourself in the driver's seat. All right, sorry about that. Take control, don't ignore the calls, and put yourself in a winning position. Again, my name is Jason White. Thank you all for your time. I'm out. Peace.